Hello everyone, welcome back. Before going to building the API with AnyPoint Studio, now let's understand the API fragment. What is API fragment? API fragment are the two types, that is the local and the global. API fragment, if I talk about the API fragment, it is type of it is used for the if you have some reusable code that you can reuse at a many place, then you can create the API fragment. Let's take example. I have written the code with that 1,000 line, out of which 10 line is repeating continuously. Then we can create a API fragment with that, and we can reuse it again. Okay, so we are going to see API fragment can be created for the trade, can be created for the resource type, can be created for the library, for data type, for user documentation, for example, for innovation type, and for the security schemes. For these all type, we can create the API fragment and we can refer it to our the main API. Okay, so this API fragment work in a way we used to create a API fragment of any of one type that we want to create, and the main API that we REST API we are creating, we are going to refer that API fragment to that API. In this way our API fragment works. Okay, in this lecture I am not going to cover everyone because still security thing we have not learned, that these all thing we have not learned. So I am going to cover the two types, that is data type and the examples. In the later sections, if you like, I will cover few more of them once we learn the security things, these all things. Let's understand first what is API fragment and how we can implement. And in this lecture I am going to cover these two data types, that is the data type and the example, and how we can create the API fragment locally and globally, which both thing we are going to see. Okay, let's go to the AnyPoint Studio. If you see, earlier we have created this API, that is employee rating API. In this API we have a lots of thing repeating. So I want to, if you see currently the code is of 155 on 157 line, but if we use the API fragment, this can be reduced to lesser line and my code will be look good better, and also the performance is going to increase. So let's first try to capture what are the thing repeating. If you see in the post method, these are the thing, that is these properties, that is employee name, employee ID, employee rating, year, and employee type is present. And same thing if you see in the put method, same thing is repeating, that is employee name, employee ID, employee thing. So this thing one we can take and create a API fragment and we can refer it here. Second thing is, you can see the example. This example is also present in the put, and this example is also present in the post. So both example we can create a one API fragment for example and we can refer it. So we have the two things. First thing is this, it is called as a data type. You can see employee name, it is giving string, employee ID it is giving string, employee rating it is called string, and the year it is going in integer, and employee type it is giving string. So this is actually a data type. So we can create a data type API fragment for this, and we are going to create a example API fragment for this. So let's first create the locally. To create a local API fragment, we can directly create from here. So let's first create the local API fragment. For that, you have to just create a new folder and write any folder name like that. I am like the generic code, writing like that, generic code. And later I will explain you why locally and why it is important to uh, difference between local and global. Okay, let's create a file. I am going to create a new file, and under let's select the which type of API fragment you want to create. I want to create API fragment of, you can see lots of trait, resource, library, overlay, and these all type are mentioned here. You can select any one type, but this time I am going to create a data type. Let's click on create. Now this page has been opened, and we have the this area where we are going to create the data type, and further we are going to refer it. Okay, so let's click on enter. Here you can see there is a type option. You can select the type and type as a object. Okay, let's go to the our main API, employee rating API. You can see this part is repeating, where it is the part the post method, and this is repeating, that is from type is equal to object to repeating till here. Let's copy it and let's paste to here. I have already copied the type, so I am going to replace this thing. Okay, now you can see it is done. Let me try to make the indentation correctly. Okay, let me go. Let me try to, okay, keep the thing. Okay, let me try to modify it. Okay, let me go, let me back the property section. Okay, not here. Now you can see it is coming correctly. Okay, so you have to make the indentation correctly. This is very important while you are creating the YAML, because in YAML indentation is very much important. Okay, so now we have done with the we have done with the employee rating API, and we have created the data type. Now it's time to refer this data type to our this. So let's remove the code that are repeating. First this is repeating, so let's remove this from object to, let me remove this from object till okay, okay, till here. Okay, from object to, let's remove this. Okay, and the second, you can see once I remove this, is error is coming because it is currently not we are currently this need the type, but currently type is not present, so it is. And another thing, in the put we have to replace, in the put same thing is repeating, so let me remove also in the put. Let me just handle it correctly. Okay, okay, I have removed the example also. I need to know. Okay, let me go. Okay, what is happening? Let me try to copy this. Okay, let me remove one by one. Okay, so I have removed the these both. Under the put this code was present, so I have removed this, and under the post this was also present, so I have removed this, and because of that these all error are coming. So now we need to refer this data type to this API. And how we can refer? Just go to this data type, just click here. There is an option called copy path. Just copy the path and go to the main REST API. Here just type the include exclamation mark include, and just paste the path. Okay, now you can see all error has gone. You can see it means if error has gone, it means we are correctly referring our API. if there will be some error that we are not referring our data type correctly. Now let's go to the another method, that is put method. Again you can see still here error is showing. Let's write again same thing, include and this data type. Why this is include? This is basically a include is a syntax in the raml to include the any fragment. If you include, if you want to include a fragment like that, if you want to include a data type, then you have to include the write the includes exclamation mark include. So now you can see it is working perfectly, and if you can test the method, we have did the modify in the put and post. So let's go to the post and let's try it and see it is working perfectly or not. Let's try the it. Now you can see it is working perfectly post. Now let me try to go on the put one, and in the put, and let me select the mocking service. Let me try it, and let me send it. Now you can see it is working perfectly. So what we have done till now, it is working perfectly in the API fragment. But this is called the local data type. Why it is local? Because we are creating here in the locally, that is called the local. Now let's do the example one also. Okay, but before doing example, I want to show you how we can create the global data type. Let's go to the designer, API designer, and let's click on here. You can see there is an option called new fragment. From here you can create the fragment. Just click on fragment and give the any name, that is I am writing like that emp employee, like that employee emp data type. You can write emp dot not, let me keep something different name, emp employee employee rating data type. Okay, now this is going to be a raml, of course, so let's keep as a raml and just click on API fragment, create fragment. Now you can see my fragment has been created. Now here you can write the same code that I have written earlier. I can write the same code, okay, and I can refer it. So let's copy the code that we have written in the local. Let me go to the again design center, and in the I have created this one. Let me go to the employer rating. And let me go to generic code, and this was the generic code I have kept. Okay, so let me copy this whole thing, and after that I am going to delete this. I am going to delete this data type. So let me delete this. Let me click on delete and it will be deleted. You can see it has been deleted. Currently in generic code there is nothing patent, and if you see here, if you go to this, you can see here error will become like that. You can see here in the type error is coming. Here in the type it is error is coming. You can see now it is error is coming because this is not present. Okay, so let's go to the our main API fragment and let's try to keep this generic code here. Now before in between, let me tell you why we are using the global data type. The reason behind the global data type is, okay, let's take a scenario. We have some error handling type of thing, and where we are using this for the lot many flow. Okay, we are using for this for many flow. Okay, in that case what we are going to do, we are going to create a fragment, and that fragment we can use for the many flow. But in the local data type, what we are creating, we are referring to a particular flow. So if you are creating a local data type, it means you are referring to a particular employer rating API. But if you are creating a global data type, then you can refer to the how many API, no matter, you can refer to any one of them. Okay, that is the benefit of the global. In the global, we can refer to anyone. Okay, any much API. Okay, but let's, this I have created an indentation and now it is fine now. But there is one thing you need to do in the global data type. What you are creating the API fragment, you need to publish to the exchange. So click on publish to exchange. From exchange, we are going to take this fragment and we are going to refer into the our in our API. So let's see how we can refer our API from the exchange. Okay, now it is published. If you go to the exchange, if you go to the exchange, you are going to see one more asset. It's called employee rating data type, and you can see these are the thing present here. Okay, okay, this is currently private. Okay, now this whatever I published on here, the data type, this thing I am going to use. This is, you can see, API specification fragment. This is not a REST API, but if you go to this, you can see this is the REST API. So from here you can see what is the basically properties. One is the REST API, other is the API specification fragment. This fragment I am going to refer in our application that I have created, then in our REST API that I have created. In this REST API I am going to refer this fragment. Okay, so let's go to the designer and let's go to our API. This is my API. Here you can see currently nothing is referred and this is giving error. Okay, now let's how you can refer it. Go to here, you can dependency, just click on dependency, and here you can see there is a option called fragment. Just click on plus and it will bring you to the exchange. Here you can see all the exchange all the exchange present here, but what I have written here, that is my employee one. So let me write employee. You can see there is a one employee coming, that is employer rating. This is the one that I have created. You can see my name is also showing and the organization is showing. Just click on add dependency. It will add here for you. Now you can see if you click on here in the, and if you click on here, dependency had been added. And let me click on here, just 1 minute. If you go to file, and under the file, if you go to exchange module, if you go just at the last, and you are going to see the data type, you can see you are going to get this data type. Okay, so what I did, I have gone to the dependency, just I clicked on plus. After that I have added the published fragment of the exchange to a dependency. So what we have to do, we have to go to dependency, we have to select the data type or example, whatever you want to reference to our API, and go to the file and go to the folder where you have created, and just click on three dot and you can click on the copy path. Now I have copied the path Now let me go to the my original API. Again, same thing, include we have to write, but we have to write with the new path. Okay, let me remove this one. Again, let me write correctly. If I go to the under include and this, it will, okay, let me correctly, just 1 minute. Include, it will come as include, and after that let me paste the path. It will, let me check why it is coming as an error. Okay, exchange module, this is okay. Okay, let me check why this is coming as an error. Okay, under employee rating, under version, under, that is different. Okay, different. Okay, okay, let's, after that I am going to test whether it is working or not. Let me first keep the code and let's click on this. Okay, I have saved it. Let's test the service. Let me go to the post method and let me try it, and let me select the mocking service and let me send the service. Now it is correctly coming, but somehow it is dotted coming. Let's ignore the thing because it is working perfectly. And let me select the another service, that is the put, and let me again try this one and click on send. You can see it is also coming. Okay, for the put it is coming error. Okay, let's try to modify this for the put one. Let me again remove this one and let me try to do include and this, and let's try this one again. Let's try to put, and let me, okay, select the mocking service. Let's try it and let me go to the send. Now it is coming successfully. Okay, now you can see I have referred the both correctly. Okay, now let's try to see the example. How you can see the currently example is also repeating, this example is repeating and this example is repeating. So how we can replace the example? So for that, let's go to the again generic code. Let's click on plus and the new file. In the new file, in the API format, just select the other and here give the file name as a example, because we are creating example, the example. Okay, example. Okay, okay, example.json. Just click on create. Here you have to give the example that is present. Let's go to the module and just copy this example and just write here. Now it is done. Okay, now let me make the indentation correctly. Okay, okay, now it is done. Okay, now let's go to the, let's copy the path and let's go to here and let's replace the thing with the example one, and let's keep the example here, include and the path of the example. Similarly, if you want, you can refer the example with the global type also. It is up to you how you want to do. Now let's do remove, replace this also code here, and let me include here also, and let me keep here. Okay, now this is done. We have referred the data type, we have referred the example, and now if you see, now code has been decreased to 100 line. Now code is of 100 line. Earlier it was around 120 line. Now it is had decreased to 100 line. Similarly, we can replace more thing, but for now that is fine, because in this lecture I am going to show you only these two data type, that is data type and the example. So you have seen how basically we are going to create the local data type. In local data, for creating local data type, you have to just click on plus and new file and choose the data type and create it. For the global data type, you have to do the go to API design center, click on new fragment. After that, whatever the generic code you want to type, write there, publish to the exchange. After publishing to exchange, go to dependency, in dependency, click on add fragment. From this is the this from this exchange, just add dependency. Once you add a dependency, it will come into here. From here you can copy the path and refer it. That is the thing only you to do. Okay, now again last, let's test the API service. Okay, let's test everything is working perfectly or not. Let's go to the mocking service, click on try it and just click on send. My get is working perfectly. Let's go to the another method called is a post. In the post, let me try everything before I want to publish it. I want to try it. Okay, my post is also working perfectly. Let's go to the put method. Let's select this mocking service and let's try it and click on send. My post is also working perfectly. Let's try to delete method at last method. Okay, let's try the delete method. In delete method, let's try click on the select the mocking service and just click on try it and just click on, but here you have to give the some value employee ID. Let me write the employee ID anything. Okay, just click on send. Okay, now you can see this is also working perfectly. So my API is now working perfectly, and whatever I created. So we have in this lecture we have created a data type fragment and we have created the example type fragment. Now let's publish this API to the exchange. Now you can see this time it is coming as a 1.02. First version we have created, it was 1.00. Now second we have published, it was 1.01 and now it is coming 1.02. Okay, just click on publish, but it is coming cannot publish with the error root file because it is some error is coming. So let me try to modify the error and after that I am going to publish. Okay, this error that is coming, it is somehow it is not able to publish. Let me try to modify this error. Okay, okay, I got the reason why I am getting the error. If you see here, I have selected the wrong data type. The reason was that if you go to design center, okay, if you go to design center and while creating the fragment, it was asking which data type you want to create, but somehow I have not chosen the data type as a data type. That's the reason it was my mistake and I have created it wrong. Okay, that was the wrong reason that it was giving the error because I have selected as a trait and I am putting the data type. Okay, so what you have to do, select this data type and give the name as a emp data type and let's create the fragment and you can see here it is coming data type. Okay, let me try one thing, not sure it is going to work or not, but let me try one thing. Let me try to modify the existing one and see what is happening. Okay, let me go to the my this API, but I'm not sure it is going to work, but let me try one. Let me go to the exchange module and let me go to this and let me Okay, this file is only read only, we cannot modify it. Okay, so let me do the one thing. Let me first, let me go to exchange. Of course this API is not going to work, so let me delete it. Let me delete this one, because this specification is not going to helpful for us. So let me delete this. I want to delete this, so let me delete. Okay, okay, now I have deleted this. Let me refresh it. You can see currently the REST API is there. Now let me go to the here in design center. I have selected the wrong data type. That's the reason it was giving, it was the problem created. Okay, now let me go to the generic code. The current example is there. Okay, okay, now it is okay. Let me go to the, select the this one. Okay, that I have created. This is the, okay, let me go to the design center itself. Okay, that will be, because I have created a lot of things, so I need to check it which one I created for the list. Okay, that is the fragment I have created, employee data type. So let me select this one, and in this area I am going to write the generic code. Okay, in this area I am going to write the generic code. So let me write here the generic code. Let me copy from my notepad, because it is already in my notepad. So let me copy this till here, and but here it is not all details are there. So one thing I can do, okay, I have to modify this. Okay, because here it is not there. Let me, okay, let me copy this till the object, till the example, and let me back it. Okay, now but I need one more thing as a AMP type that I have not mentioned yet. So let me write as a AMP type. Okay, okay, because the I have deleted in the main message, so I need to again write it. Okay, that's the problem I have to face. Okay, so let me write it again, and let me go to the required. Of course it is true, and let me write the example as a active. Okay, that is fine. Okay, that's the example. It should be examples, not it should be example. Okay, now done. We have did with the earlier it was giving error because it was I have selected by mistake as a data type as a trait, but it should be a data type. Okay, now click on publish. Now let's, that is fine, let's click on publish. This time it is going to work perfectly, so that was my mistake. Now it is published. Now let's go to the exchange and see whether it is published or not. Okay, now you can see it is API special fragment is published. Okay, now let's go to the my API and let's try to refer it. Okay, let's go to dependency, add fragment. Okay, already there is a 1%. Let me delete this one. Let me remove this one. Okay, let's click on plus, and from here that I have just created few node, that let's click on add dependency. Dependency, it is coming error. Okay, let me click again. Let me click on add dependency. Just click on add dependency. Okay, it has added. Let me go to here. Let me go to exchange module. Okay, now it is added. Okay, you can see it is added. Let me copy to path. I have copied the path. Okay, and let me go to the our API, and let me this time try to refer it. After include, let me remove this thing and just let me keep this thing. Now you can see this time error has gone. Now let me go to remove this thing and let me keep this. Now you can see this error has gone. So now there is no error. The reason was that while creating the API fragment, I have selected the wrong data type and I have kept the detail. That was the reason it was coming as a wrong. Now let's publish this API. So what I did, I have created the API fragment of data type locally and I have referred it. Again, I have created a API fragment of global data type and I have referred it. I have created example which is local example. You can see the example here. It is present in generic. Okay, this example I have created and I have referred this example into our API. That has reduced my code to 100 line. After that, I am going to publish this to the exchange. Let me click on publish. Now you can see this time it is version is 0.12. Just click on publish. It takes, okay, now it is published. Just click on exchange, go to exchange and go to my REST API. This is the REST API. You can see 10 seconds ago I have did the modification. What modification I did? Go to the manage version. You can see now the version is showing 1.01, 1.01 and 1.02. So 1.00 was the earlier first version. After that I have created a 1.01 version and after that I have created 1.02 version. Okay, so in this way you can see what is the version currently running and what is the latest version. Okay, and from here we can see what are the latest version that we are working on it. Okay, so this is all about the API fragment. If you want to create the, let me quickly brief the API fragment. API fragment is a way in which you can reduce the long code to a short code. We can create a trade, resource, a library, and these all things we can create it using the API fragment, and we can refer to our main REST API so that our lots long code will be reduced to a shorter code and it will be easy to read and also it will be a increase my performance. Okay, it can be created locally and globally. To create a locally, you have to go to the in the design center in the REST API itself and you can create a locally. Locally mainly we use because if you want to refer a particular one REST API, then we use it locally. But if you want to create a for the generic code for the lots of application for the lots of REST API, then in that case we used to create a global, and for the creating the global you have to go to the new fragment. After under that you have to write the generic code that you want to get to refer, and after that we have to go to the API and click on add dependency and add the dependency, and after that copy the path and include into the main REST API. That is the one thing we have to follow while the API fragment. Hope you have understood the lecture. Again, if you have any doubt, any comment, and you can reach out to me. And if you have till now not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. Thank you all. We will meet you again soon.